Okay, so we're back and I went 8 rounds. I have one more stitch to put in, which I ended up with 64 half double crochets. So I removed my stitch marker, put in my number 64, and that will complete my round for my circumference of my head, which I needed 7 inches. So let's measure, and I am right at 7. Oh, sorry, snagged to my fingernail. Okay, so I'm right at 7, almost, just about. You know, when you crochet, your yarn stretches, so it's flexible and it stretches. So anyway, here's my 7. I'm going to stop my circle here. I have 8 rounds, continuous rounds that I have. And let's bring to the attention of the whole purpose of this hat was not to have the seam line. There is no seam line in this entire circle. I will slow it down so you can see. There is no seam line in this entire circle. This is the seamless hat, seamless beanie hat. There is no lines, there is no indent for a seam. This is the front of my hat. This will be the inside of my hat. There still is no seam here. You see nothing. So this is the beauty of it. This is where we make string look good. Alrighty, so to close off and to close off my 64 to, you know, make it even, I'm just going to put a single crochet in the very next stitch by just going in the very next stitch, bringing up a loop, wrapping the yarn, and going in. So that's going to kind of, when I if I was to cut off my yarn here, this will make me have an even circle around. So I'm just going to do that one single stitch to end that part of my flat circle. So at this point, I will not be adding any more stitches from this point. I will just be adding one stitch in every stitch around. This will bring my hat to form the shape of the hat from the, like this circle is the crown of my hat. So it's basically going to fit on the crown of my head. So now that I'm going to go in one stitch in each stitch around, it will start bringing my hat down towards my ear area. Sorry, I'm turning the camera around. Back to the light. Of course, this video is not edited, so that's the funny part of it. Maybe my next tutorials, I'll learn how to edit and do all that kind of stuff. So once again, here's the circle going around. There is no seam line. Yay! No seam line. Seamless hat. Okay, so back to the hat, back to the project at hand. We still would need our stitch marker. And I'm using the thread as my stitch marker. So from this point, on down to the desired length that I want for my hat. I will go 1/2 double crochet in the very next stitch. The very next stitch. 1/2 double crochet. Sorry, my stitch marker is getting caught up in my yarn. I'm going to hold that down with my fingers. Pinch that down with my fingers. So 1/2 double crochet in the very next stitch, and I'm going to continue around in the full circle until I reach back to my stitch marker. Every time I reach my stitch marker, I'm going to take it out and do another round of 1/2 double crochet in each stitch around. When I get to my desired length of my hat, then I will let you know. I will meet you back around to that point, and I will let you know how many rounds I went for my seamless hat. And I will meet you there. Okay, we're at the last 1/2 double crochet, which I went 8 rounds, so I have 64. So I'm going to put my last number 64 in the stitch, number 64. And I just wanted to show you how the hat is curving. If you can see this, how the hat starts to curve when you don't increase anymore. So it starts to curve. Let me hold it like this, maybe you can see it better. But yeah, the hat is going to start to curve, and what you do is you bring the hat all the way down to your desired length until you reach the length of your hat. When you finish the length of your hat will fold over like this, and it will come down this way. Whichever way you want it, it will come down, and then that will be the length of your hat. So this will be the top of your head, and then your hat will come down rows like that. But it starts to curve when you don't increase anymore. So it's lifted up off the table. It starts to curve like a bowl almost. So keep going around to your desired length, and I will meet you at the end of your hat, and I will let you know how many rounds I went. Sticking with the same amount of stitches that you ended your increase with, which I had 64. So every time I come back around to my stitch marker, I should be at number 64. Put my stitch marker, continue around with 1/2 double crochet in each stitch, and I should always end at number 64. And I will meet you back around. Okay, so we're back around, and we've reached our 64th stitch, which is there. So we can pull out our stitch marker, and we're going to end the hat here. So I'm going to end with a single crochet in the next stitch, just like so, like that, to even my hat off. I'm going to draw that string up, and then I ended up doing 8 rounds to start from crown to the adding in the stitches. I